What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Sam's, and this is that Comic Book Tuesday. So, as you already know, Comic Book Tuesday. I reach in this big black bag and I pull out a comic book. Now, last week I pulled out a comic book that I thought it was pretty good. It was okay. You know, it wasn't anything great to read, to be honest with you. Oh, and isn't that ironic? I actually watched, well, I kind of, sort of tried to watch Spectre. So that's what I actually did. I kind of watched Spectre. I kind of went back, and this is the comic book that I pulled out. James Bond 007. This is from Ellis Masters, well, Ellis and Masters, Ian Fleming's, and this is called Vargr. This is from Dynamite Comics, opening up right now. This is fresh to death. So, let's get into it. Now, the opening scene, we see 007 sitting here on a chair, and we see somebody running through the streets of Helsinki. Now, this guy is running in the streets of Helsinki, and it looks like that he is trying to dodge and run away from somebody who is shooting and aiming at him. It looks like that this guy has a cross on his forehead, so you know he's some type of religious nut job most likely, and someone threw a cinder block at his back. A cinder block at his back. That's pretty cool. So this fight is happening, is ensuing, and it looks like that is 007 that actually threw this cinder block, and it's 007 that is fighting this guy. This guy is trying to fight back 007. He is shooting at him. 007 is beating him with just the mere objects that is in this junkyard. So, looks like this guy lost his fingers in the process of this. It looks like you killed 008. So this guy killed 008, and this is 007. And James Bond is finishing the job by putting a bullet in his head, and that's how this thing starts. Bigger. Now, we are back in London. Now, back here in London, this is in Old England, this area, and we see this guy sitting, and he is strumming his guitar with his fingers all busted up and crusted, but let's move on from that. We're back at MI6, and James Bond is sitting there, and he's talking to, I guess, his senior officer. So, I mean, the comic book is pretty good. I mean, the inking is really well done. The coloring is very, very nice as well. We see a lot of watercoloring as well. A lot of ink work, watercoloring, and then you see the old-fashioned comic book dots. If you know anything about old newspaper comics, you see those little ink spots, the dots. That's how it used to get printed. That's the type of illustration that they got going on. Pointillism is what it's called, pointillism. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, we're seeing this character moving on. We're seeing him talking to his artillery, and it looks like that they're giving him all different types of new weapons. You know, the typical James Bond stuff. This seems to be a typical story in the life of James Bond. He's sitting with his other agents. He's having these conversations with them, talking about money, penny, and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff is actually okay, hold on. Now, there's a nice little twist. Now, somewhere in this laboratory, this woman is actually operating on this guy, and this guy wakes up and he is chiseled. And it looks like that he's looking up 007 for himself, and his name is called Mr. Masters, and she says, "Mr. Masters, are you ready to kill 007 James Bond?" And he just simply looks at her, and that's the end of this comic book. So, I've never heard of this comic book brand. I've never heard of Dynamite, I should say. I never heard of Dynamite, but this is issue 1 in Dynamite. So this came out, trying to see if there's a date on this as to when it came out. Just based on the stuff on the back, it looks like 2015. So it looks like that this came out around 2015. But if you are interested in this type of comic, go to dynamite.com. Dynamite.com is for teenagers, but if you check out dynamite.com, you can see the other issues of this James Bond series. It looks like that there's about 8 other issues of this James Bond. So, should be a pretty interesting read. Once again, I'm more into the Marvel, DC type comics, and this ain't my cup of tea, but I do like James Bond. So check out this comic book. Once again, it's Tuesday. Go to your comic book store and check out the comic books that they have lined up. Every Tuesday, they have a new shipment of comic books, so go out there and check it out. Once again, this is your boy Sam's. This is Comic Book Tuesday. Zams out.